Hello my spooky bats and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Orphea and in today's video I want to talk about the pros and the cons of being goth. Now this video was something that I really struggled with finding a way to make it because for me personally the goth scene and being part of it is something super positive. However, I know that a lot of people still have negative associations with the goth scene or being part of the goth scene. However, in today's video I want to be focusing on a few pros and cons that I have come up with. This is of course my personal opinion, so I would love it if you share yours in the comment section of this video. And I am really loving interacting with you and reading your comments, replying to them, so feel free to let me know in the comment section below what are your pros and cons of being part of the goth scene. Now, because I want to start this video on a positive note, and also I know not everyone watches every single video of mine to the end, so I want to start with the positive things. Now, the first positive thing for me is that the goth scene is full of like-minded people and it is overall a very accepting subculture. So if you like spooky, dark things, if you listen to a particular type of music, within the goth scene you will of course find like-minded people because we are based upon the same basics, more or less. Of course there are differentiations, but if you go to goth events, the chances are so big that you will find your new best friend there if you're new to the scene, or even connect with more and more people if you have been around for a longer time. And this actually accentuates another big pro for me, and it is the music. For me, music is life. I know you have probably seen this in a lot of my videos, but I live through music. I'm not super creative at making my own music, but I love listening to music, going to concerts and dancing and DJing and everything that involves it. And music is one of the strongest foundations of the goth scene. So for me, that is a huge plus, a huge pro of the goth scene. It is that it is so music oriented and that all of the events that you can attend that are goth events will have some type of music presence in them. And that is personally so important to me. Now the next point is something that some people might see as something that is not particularly related to the goth scene, but for me it is. And it is expressing yourself and being your true self. The goth scene has allowed me personally to open up as a person, to feel more like me, like myself, and to actually come out of my shell a lot more. Being part of the goth scene has given me a lot of confidence that I did not have before because I kind of felt lost. And you can actually see this very well through my evolution on my YouTube channel. If you go back to the early stages, I wasn't even sure if I was identifying as goth. But over the years my confidence and my personality have grown, and you can really see this on my channel, and I feel that the goth scene or being part of the goth scene is something that has helped me a lot. Now onto a few more practical assets of being part of the goth scene. Most of my clothes are black or dark shades, so laundry day is super easy. I just throw everything into the laundry machine together and wash it. However, be careful because some of the items can be dried into the dryer and some cannot. So I used to always use a drying rack to dry my clothing on, but now I have to be very careful that I don't throw things like this beautiful Killstar top into the dryer, because believe me, they will shrink. So doing laundry as a goth is super easy. And of course, having black clothes matches everything. Black matches with any other color, whether you are dressing in red, in blue, whatever shade you have to wear a t-shirt from, for example. Black matches with everything. And the one big pet peeve that I have about people saying that my blacks don't match, blacks always match. Even if it is a mishap of different shapes of black, it will still look cohesive and it will still look put together. So black matches with everything. And something that I have found out over the past few years whenever I'm not wearing black is that black don't show stains. I tend to spill my drinks a lot when I drink them, and I'm talking about iced tea, water, but also coffee, cola, etc. On black you won't see any stains. Doesn't mean that my clothes are clean, but it means that you don't see the stains. Now do keep in mind I wash my clothes whenever I get stains on them, but it is a lot less bad than having a white shirt and then spilling something on it and that you cannot get out of it. There are, however, a few stains that will show, and it is mainly toothpaste and milk-based drinks, so be careful with those. Now, the last pro of the goth scene that I want to really accentuate is that experimenting is something that is super encouraged. Experiment with your clothing, with your hair, with your makeup. It is something that you can go so many different directions with, and it really allows you to create your own personality, your own style, your own unique way of being, and that to me is the biggest pro of the goth scene. Now let's get into a few negatives. And the first one is blacks that don't match. However, for me this is not often an issue because I find that most blacks still will match. The second con, however, is something that I have experienced a lot already, and it is finding a particular piece of clothing into a pile of black clothes. Now, I don't have as many clothes as I used to own, and I use hangers for most of it, but if I'm in a rush and I need to find that one particular black cardigan that I'm looking for between the 4 or 5 that I have, it tends to be difficult. Because black on black on black is something that is very difficult to find the right piece quickly and easily. Another con is actually my 2 pets. I have 2 cats, one of which is mainly black but also has some white parts, and the other one is just various shades of brown. I love my cats, but I hate having their hairs on my clothing and the fact that you can really clearly see them. So having a lint roller or something else that I can keep the hair off my clothing with is essential, and this could be considered as a con of being part of the goth scene. Another con of the goth scene is that a lot of brands have pinpointed down what we love and made it super extremely expensive. Now, I do understand that some clothing is worth a higher price, but some of these things we talk about China-made products that are not sustainable, that are mass-produced, and that are really shitty quality. So a lot of people see goth as being something super expensive, and I can't blame them, because if you look around and if you type in the main goth major fashion brands, you will see that they are indeed expensive for what they are. However, there is a positive side that counters this. Thrifting and DIYing is super encouraged within the goth scene. So if you go to charity shops, second-hand shops, thrifting, then you will find a lot of unique pieces and you can actually DIY them to make them your own. Another con is the comfort of a lot of the clothing, jewelry, and even shoes that we like to wear. I can tell you, I am way more comfy on my Doc Martens or on my sneakers than I am on a pair of platforms. However, I just love the way platforms look. Same goes with corsets, with some of the dresses that I have. They look super gorgeous on, but they are not the most comfortable to wear all day. And if you ever worn a corset for over a period of 2 to 4 hours, or especially to a concert, to a festival, or to a party, you will know what I mean. Now, I want to talk about the people within the goth scene as well. There is one big negative to it, and it is the elitists. Fortunately, there's not a lot of them, and if you encounter them, it will be mostly online. So I feel that elitists within the goth scene are something that used to be very much talked about and very much discussed. On the other side, I've also found that a lot of these elitists, once you confront them, will actually not be elitists at all. They just want to know that you are coming to the goth scene for the right reasons and not because you have seen some pretty clothes on Instagram and are coming to their party. And that actually goes back to one of the pros that I told you at the start of this video. The goth scene is a very tightly knit community. It is overall very accepting, and once you are part of the goth scene, you will just find your home. So the elitists that you maybe someday will encounter or might encounter are not at all. And from my personal experience, I have only encountered elitists a very small bit online on some of my YouTube videos, but that's it. And I've never encountered a elitist in real life or someone who had something negative to say about me, so I don't even feel like this is a big negative, but I felt I should have mentioned it. Finally, the biggest negative of being part of the goth scene is other people's opinions. And I'm talking about strangers mainly, but also family members who don't know what goth is. It is basically people who don't understand the goth scene. They will make assumptions, they will ask why we do it, as if we are some sort of alien or if we have to justify what we like. And that is to me actually the biggest negative, the biggest con of being part of the goth scene. You will stand out, that's normal. You look a different way than most people do. You will have questions asked, and most of the time the most ridiculous questions get asked first. However, for me personally, this does not weigh up at all to the positives of the goth scene. These people have actually made me more confident because I couldn't care less anymore what they think. I get stared at on a regular basis if I go outside looking the way that I want to look, and that's fine. Some people will like it, some people won't, but I do, and that's the most important part. So to conclude this video, is being part of the goth scene something that has a lot of pros or a lot of cons? It has a little bit of both, and I hope that's something that you noticed while looking at this video, is that for me being part of the goth scene is something super positive, and it has given me a lot of opportunities and a lot of chances in life, and that has allowed me to grow as a person. So for me personally, being part of the goth scene is something super positive. It is a super pro to my life. Again, I want to encourage you to let me know your pros and cons in the comment section of this video. I have really loved in the previous videos already seeing your input, reading your comments, replying to you and having a conversation, and I would love to keep this going. So let me know in a comment what are your pros and cons to being part of the goth scene, or if there's anything else you want to add. Also, before we end this video, I want to thank my patrons, and more specifically Anders and Jerry, who are my top tier patrons. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, it means a lot to me. And of course, to every single one of you who watches my videos, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this topic, then give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I make weekly videos about the goth scene, about what it is like being goth, and the highly discussed topics about it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!